Hello, very good morning. Welcome to the Mega News on MBN TV of Afudai Multimedia. We're coming to you live from the 10th Avenue Extension, Greater Estate, Nungwa Adugono. We're bringing you major stories across the world and also on the local front, business as well as the international news. We go for straight out to the headlines.
Mahama presents vehicles to retired military commanders. In business, Star Oil cuts fuel prices to NPA price floors amid government's diesel relief. And on the international front, Uganda unveils statue of Israel PM's brother who died in Entebbe rescue mission.
My name is El Samuels. The news is also live across all our social media handles, MBN 360. Details of the stories coming up shortly. In our first story, the President, John Dramani Mahama, has presented vehicles to the immediate past Chief of Defense Staff and General Thomas Oppong-Pepra, retired, and the former service commanders of the Ghana Armed Forces following the withdrawal of armored vehicles previously allocated to them as part of retirement benefits.
In a Facebook post on Monday, August 3, the GAF said the replacement vehicles Toyota Land Cruisers were handed over to the retired military leaders on behalf of the President by the current CDS, Lieutenant General William Ejapon. The presentation took place at the General Headquarters of the GAF in Accra on Friday, July 31, 2026. According to the GAF, the gesture fulfills a commitment made by President John Dramani Mahama after the armored vehicles earlier granted to the retired commanders were withdrawn. The President had pledged to provide alternative vehicles in recognition of the years of service and contributions of the former military leaders to Ghana's national security. At the handover ceremony, Lieutenant General William Ejapon expressed appreciation to the retired commanders for their dedication and sacrifices towards the development of the Ghana Armed Forces. He also highlighted ongoing initiatives within the military, including infrastructure projects, welfare interventions, and measures to strengthen the GAF's operational capacity. Speaking on behalf of the beneficiaries, former Chief of Air Staff, Air Marshal Frederick Asaru Kwesi Bequin, retired, expressed appreciation to President Mahama for honoring his pledge. He described the presentation of the vehicles as a demonstration of the government's recognition of the contribution of retired military personnel. Air Marshal Bequin further praised the leadership of the GAF for implementing reforms and development programs aimed at improving the welfare of personnel and enhancing the effectiveness of the armed forces.
Now moving on to the Upper West region, the headmaster of Wa Islamic Senior High School, Al-Hassan A. Bafara, has disclosed that 138 students were affected by a fire outbreak at the school's girls' dormitory in the Upper West region.
The incident occurred on Sunday, August 2, with personnel from the Ghana National Fire Service arriving at the scene about 30 to 35 minutes after receiving the distress call and managing to bring the fire under control. Speaking to journalists, Mr. Bafara said the affected students lost almost all their personal belongings in the fire. He explained that school authorities, together with teachers, had decided to allow the displaced students to return temporarily home and come back over the weekend ahead of their examinations next week. The headmaster noted that the school had previously experienced similar fire outbreaks, but insisted management had taken several measures to improve electrical safety and strengthen surveillance on campus. He added that there was currently no evidence of foul play, although investigations were ongoing. The Wa Municipal Chief Executive, Alhaji Nura Issa Dawana, who visited the school after the incident, said they were working with management to find temporary accommodation for the displaced students. The MCE said it was considering accelerating work on an uncompleted dormitory block to provide additional accommodation. Meanwhile, the Ghana National Fire Service says the exact cause of the fire has not yet been established. The Upper West Regional Fire Commander, ACFO2 Kofi Obosu, explained that investigators were examining several possible causes, including electrical faults, slow combustion from combustible materials, and possible misuse of electrical appliances by students. He assured the public that a comprehensive investigation report would be released before the end of the week. The fire service also urged educational institutions to strengthen fire safety measures by training campus fire volunteers, ensuring fire extinguishers are readily accessible, and installing fire hydrants in schools to improve emergency response.
In our final story, we trek down to the Greater Accra, where a fire has destroyed a car spraying shop at Kotobabi in Accra, causing damage to property and disrupting business activities in the area.
The blaze, which occurred on Monday, August 3, engulfed the workshop with flames consuming equipment and other items before firefighters arrived at the scene. Personnel from the Ghana National Fire Service responded to the incident and worked to contain the fire, preventing it from spreading to nearby structures. The cause of the fire remains unknown. However, investigations have been launched to establish the circumstances surrounding the incident. There was no immediate reports of fatalities or injuries at the time of filing this report. Officials are yet to assess the extent of the damage while affected shop owners begin counting their losses. The Ghana National Fire Service has urged the public and business operators to observe fire safety measures and promptly report fire outbreaks to minimize damage and protect lives.
Now we move straight to the business desk, where Star Oil has cut ex-pump fuel prices to the National Petroleum Authority's NPA price floor for the first time price window of August, offering some relief to consumers after the pump prices surged earlier.
The latest adjustment is the third revision of ex-pump prices by Star Oil since the start of the August 1st pricing window. Petrol at Star Oil outlets is now selling at 14 cedis 53 pesos per litre, down from 15 cedis 57 pesos earlier on Monday. Diesel has also been reduced from 18 cedis 97 pesos to 16 cedis 97 pesos per litre, matching the NPA price floor for the current pricing window. Star Oil said the reduction in diesel prices follows the government's decision to temporarily reduce the regulatory margin on diesel by 2 Ghana cedis per litre to cushion consumers against rising fuel prices. The government's intervention takes effect from Tuesday, August 4, 2026, and will apply to diesel for 1 month. There is no corresponding reduction in the regulatory margin for petrol. The intervention is intended to limit the impact of rising fuel costs on households and businesses, while helping to contain pressure for increases in commercial transport fares and broader inflation. The latest move also comes as international crude oil prices remain elevated and the city faces renewed pressure, increasing the cost of importing petroleum products. More oil marketing companies are expected to revise their ex-pump prices, particularly for diesel, from Tuesday as the government's temporary intervention takes effect. The adjustments could narrow the gap between pump prices at some stations and the NPA price floor, giving consumers some immediate relief from the sharp increases recorded at the start of August. Diesel prices are currently nearing 20 Ghana cedis per litre at some fuel stations, while petrol prices have crossed 15 cedis per litre at some outlets. State-owned Goil outlets Petrol is selling at 15 cedis 99 pesos per litre, while diesel is priced at 19 cedis 26 pesos per litre. Super XP 95 is selling at 17 cedis 30 pesos per litre. At Shell outlets, petrol is selling at 16 cedis 29 pesos per litre, with diesel at 19 cedis 49 pesos per litre. At Total Energies outlets, petrol is also selling at 16 cedis 29 pesos per litre, while diesel is priced at 19 cedis 49 pesos per litre. For consumers, the immediate impact of the intervention is expected to lower diesel pump prices at participating OMCs. However, the relief is temporary and applies only to diesel, meaning petrol prices will continue to reflect prevailing market conditions.
Now, moving away from the business desk, we go straight to the international front, where Uganda has unveiled a status of Jonathan Netanyahu, the older brother of Israel Prime Minister, who was killed during the X-Bank hostage rescue mission 50 years ago.
Uganda's Army Chief, General Muhoozi Kainerugaba, said the monument honored his courage and selfless service. Netanyahu was the only Israeli soldier killed in the raid, which rescued more than 100 hostages after 2 Palestinians and 2 Germans hijacked an Air France flight that had taken off from Tel Aviv and diverted it to Uganda's international airport. Kainerugaba described the mission as one of the most significant episodes in modern history and spoke of the now close ties between the two countries as a remarkable journey. The statue of Netanyahu striding forward with a machine gun in his hands stands outside the old airport terminal where the rescue happened. During the operation, 3 hostages, Jean-Jacques Mimoni, Pascal Cohen, and Ida Buruhuchiv also died, and Dora Bloch was later murdered in hospital in the capital Kampala while being treated there. May their memories continue to inspire future generations in the pursuit of peace, justice, and human dignity, the army chief said. The hijackers and 3 accomplices who joined them in Uganda were also killed, as well as at least 45 Ugandan soldiers in fighting with the Israelis. Acknowledging the deaths of the soldiers, Kainerugaba said they had fought vigilantly in what they believed was a justified cause. Of course, today we know that the government of Idi Amin, which they served, was a brutal dictatorship which did not represent the Ugandan people.
And that's how we wrap up this morning's news at 6 on MBN TV. But before we take leave of you, we take a second look at the stories making headlines.
Mahama presents vehicles to retired military commanders. In business, Star Oil cuts fuel prices to NPA price floors amid government's diesel relief. And on the international front, Uganda unveils statue of Israel PM's brother who died in Entebbe rescue mission.
Thanks for staying with us. For more news, log on to MBN 360. My name is El Samuel. Sports Update is up next.